Hello everyone, welcome back to the Displayline podcast. I'm your host Olly,
And I'm your other host, Joey.
and today I'm going to be doing a review of Farnborough International Airshow 2026. So, let's get started. Actually, before we get started, do you want to let the viewers know who didn't see Friday's promo, our brand new part of the Displayline podcast?
Yeah, so we now actually have it open just as a bit of lighting because it is white. We now have a
Yeah,
website, so it's going to have all of our reviews of any airshow we've been to. Right now, it has Midlands Air Festival 2026, Cosford Airshow 2026, Shuttleworth Festival of Flight 2026, Duxford Summer Airshow 2026, and Farnborough Airshow 2026 will have its rating out of 10 as this episode goes out, because obviously we don't want to spoil it. You
yeah,
find out about the website on Friday. Can't really spoil the whole episode.
yeah,
But it does have your sort of description of what you saw. I'm sure we'll get onto some of those details whilst recording this, but it has a meet the team section, so it kind of goes through who we are. It's got Ollie on it, it's got me on it, it's got Alfie on it, it's got a mascot on it, it's got Nathan on it. Um, so it's got a section for the podcast and a section for the photographers. There is a few empty spots you'll see for the photographer. There is one empty spot just in case we expand on that. We can always just add even more if we
we
have
do
to.
actually have like a
We've
whole
got a few.
diagram for our team in the server of the Displayline podcast. We have a staff
Yeah.
graphic that I made. You won't be able to see it very well on here because I'm on dark mode and stuff anyway, and it's quite dark. But you can see
We'll
a
probably,
generic
if you
sort of
remember,
like
put it up
spider
on the
graph or
screen.
whatever you call it.
Yeah. It's got like all the.
In fact, I might just
I
put a
don't even know
picture
what
up
the
on
word
screen
is.
anyway, and they can just see it.
It's the There's a word for it, but I actually don't know what the word is. I'm sure I'll remember it once we've done recording,
Yeah,
and then I'll be like,
well,
oh, it's that. But anyway, it has an about us section. We'll probably add to that a little bit because I'm not a writer, not very descriptive.
no,
Um, just says what it is and what we do sometimes. The pictures section is my personal favourite because it's what we do.
yeah, we are
We take
photographers
pictures
to
and
be
that.
fair.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. The review section is coming along. It does have Blackpool show on there ready because that is this
This
weekend.
weekend, yeah.
Obviously, the review will be up
In
next
fact,
weekend because
it
the
will be
episode.
over by the time this episode comes out. The whole of
Yeah,
Blackpool Airshow will be over by the time this episode comes out. So that will be next Sunday's episode for Joey's review. Hopefully, you get some like cool merch and stuff, and get some good pictures that we can display up on the screen.
yeah. I will be looking for the Typhoon patch because I said that I would get it, and
You
I'm
won't be able
gonna
to
get
see
it.
it, but it is there. My one is there, but it's just
It's up there
dark.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's 4 hours from now is tomorrow.
You do have
We're
to be
recording this
careful
on Friday.
actually with the Typhoon patch because there's two of them. One that Runway 25 sells, one that the actual team sells. So make sure if you do want the special patch, make sure you get it directly from the Typhoon. And I'm not saying that just to you, Joe. I'm saying that to everyone watching at home. If you do happen to come across Runway 25 and the Typhoon, you can get two. But if you want the actual like really cool special limited edition crew only patch, get it from the directly from the Typhoon crew, as they are slightly different.
Noted, and I'm assuming that will be in the Typhoon display team tent as
Yeah, yeah,
opposed
yeah,
to
yeah.
anything that says runway 25
Yeah,
on
I
it.
mean, I got
Yeah,
this from one. I believe this one was from Runway 25, but then obviously this was from the actual Typhoon people. So it's quite cool actually.
yeah,
Basically this is what the pattern will look like. Actually, well, it's probably better to show this. This is what the pattern looks like on the like goods patch, but on the other one it's got like a green outline and like the dragon and stuff is slightly different. Unfortunately, I can't actually show it because well, I don't have that patch. My dad has it. But yeah, it is very slightly different.
yeah. I am kind of lacking in the patch department, so I'll make sure to get some patches at Blackpool this year, and
If they have any,
hopefully it's
obviously.
Southport. I know that Southport's a lot easier to get patches because it's a paid air show. There's not literally
Yeah.
crowds of people in every square meter.
Well, yeah. To be fair,
Um,
there wasn't. That's not.
but
There's not like a lot of trade stands at Blackpool. Like, there's a lot of army and like Typhoon and stuff like that. There's like a lot of the armed forces, but there's not actually a lot of like actual trade stands. I can't remember really there being any at last year's one. I only went to the Red
yeah,
Arrows, like the army and stuff like that. So hopefully you can get some at
yeah.
Southport, if not at Blackpool as well.
I think most of the money for Blackpool comes from just people being in Blackpool.
Yeah.
people buying. I'm pretty sure because it's run by the council, they'll take a cut of all the food and stuff that gets sold
If they
from
get their
all the
cut of
actual
it, if there's anything
company.
left.
Yeah, if there's anything left, yeah. But anyway, getting a bit off track
Yeah.
here. Farnborough, um, was that last weekend?
No, it was the 24th of July, so 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I went on holiday, didn't I?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Um, how was it? How would just give a little brief overview of how it was?
Well, it was definitely better than I thought it was going to be. I actually thought it was going to be backlit because the like on Google Maps, like the terminals and stuff are like here, and then the runways here, and obviously that would make it backlit. But they put you along like the grass and stuff like that, so it's actually like top/front lit, which is actually quite good. I was actually quite happy with what displayed in the end. You know, the F-35, the Typhoon, the Fursan El Emirates, I think they're called, something like that. The UAE team. I've been saying that for a few weeks. I haven't actually looked through the UAE team yet. That's on these two cards here. But I have looked through the rest of them. So on here is the Bombardier Global 8000, Fursan, Emirates, Starlings, and the Saab 340. Because I was having camera battery issues, like fully charged batteries would die in about 10 minutes. So obviously I was like, let's just save this for the F-35 because that's kind of this is what I really want to take photos of because it's incredibly rare and sacrifice like things like the Furs and El Emirates on because the camera's not even bad. The camera's still good. I'm sure I've got some good shots out of it as well. But it's better for a display team anyway because a smaller lens with bigger like a lot more aircraft is actually better than a bigger lens with a lot of aircraft because obviously with like the red arrows and stuff, like even on maxed out zoom, especially when they're like 5 abreast and stuff, you just can't get them all in. So yeah, in the end, I thought it's worth the sacrifice. I'm sure the photos aren't going to be terrible anyway. But yeah, again, it was a good show. Unfortunately, no trade stalls. But if some of you, well, not that I could find personally, but some of you keen-eyed people might be seeing this that was obviously there. It's a Rich Goodwin limited edition signed and flown in that jet pits there patch, and there's only 40 of them again. You won't particularly be able to see, but there is a 4 and a 0 there. Um, and it's the 19th out of the 40th. It's quite a nice patch. It's actually quite a high quality patch as well. And again, it's signed there by Rich Goodwin. It's a little bit smudged, but again, that's what happens when you put a pen on cardboard or whatever this is. But yeah, it's a really cool patch. Very limited edition. I'm probably one of the only people. In fact, Alfie doesn't have it, and he loves patches. Obviously, Joey doesn't have it because he only has the space patch. I think it's like a NASA patch.
Yeah, I got Artemis 2 and
That
Starship Flight 5.
yeah. So it's very rare. Literally, probably one of the rarest patches in the world, I'd say, because there is only 40 of them. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me being biased because I have one. But yeah, it was quite good.
Definitely up there.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, there might be a one out of one patch somewhere, but yeah, it's quite cool. Really, really awesome to see. Obviously, Rich and Owen are both great guys, so that was awesome. But yeah, I didn't find much at Farnborough. There was a lot of statics, but not a lot of stalls, which obviously we'll get to later. But yeah, overall, the show was quite good, to be fair. Definitely flying wise.
Yeah, and you mentioned the F-35 a few times. Would I be safe to assume that that is your favorite display? I mean, we'll get onto the reviews later, but would you
It's the
say
joint
that that's probably
favourite,
your
joint
favorite?
favourite, and obviously we'll get
Joint favorite,
to,
okay.
and that's with three displays, so that and
With
two
3,
more.
okay.
So that one and two
Good
more.
display. Good actually if there's matching with
Yes, yeah,
3
yeah, yeah.
matching with an F-35 display. That is
Well,
a
two
very, very good
two
sign.
with so the F-35 and two more,
2 with
so
it, yeah.
three in total.
Alright. Speaking of the, ratings, we'll get it kicked off with you sent me a nice little, video
Yes,
scrolling
yeah,
through what displayed, so I'll be on my phone looking through that. Starting off with the Red Devils display team, I'm assuming they were first in the day.
yeah, yeah.
How did you find those?
Yeah, I mean, they're like any other parachute team. They're like the Falcons. Obviously, you've got the Army Devils. You've got loads of other teams as well. I'm sure the Navy. I think the Raiders are the Navy ones are called. They go to Hampshire. They all sort of do the same thing. They will do like stacks, which is like one on top of another. So it's sort of like, well, sort of like that. And obviously, there's a canopy in between. Um, they flew, I believe it's the biggest square foot British flag, like, um, from their boot. You know how they like sometimes they have it on their boot. I get a picture up actually because I did take a picture. Um, and I think something like 3,200 square meters or something like that. I think it's like really, really
A little
big.
bit big.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a
yeah.
couple centimeters at least, probably.
Obviously, obviously. Here,
Probably a little bit bigger than some normal flags, I reckon.
so here it is. There, you can see that is quite
Oh,
big.
that is quite the flag.
It is quite the flag, actually. Yeah. So, it was definitely something to see. I would probably give the display about a 7 out of 10. Again, it's a parachute team. It's not my kind of genre. It's not something that like I'm excited about when it goes. But obviously, it's another display. It's something that's quite cool to get photos of and to learn like the history of all the jumpers and stuff and how they've done like 40,000 jumps or something like So yeah, 7 out of 10 for the army display team.
Yeah, I mean 7 out of 10 makes sense. It's not really it's airshow related. It's obviously a display, but like you go to an airshow to see the planes,
Yeah,
obviously, and something that's you're breaking your neck to look at it. You're stumbling over trying to get pictures of it. I think 7 out of 10 is pretty good. Obviously,
yeah,
we've
because
rated them before.
you're like that with your
Yeah,
camera looking up at them because they come like right above you. So
yeah, we've obviously rated them before, and it probably won't be the same rating
we
every
rated the
time. But at the
Falcons
end of the
before, I
day,
think, or what is it?
yeah,
The RAF
uh,
Falcons, isn't it? So it's something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have probably rated the Red Devils before, and we'll definitely be
Well, we
rating
saw
them
them
again.
at Blackpool last
We're
year,
going to
actually, didn't
Blackpool.
we? We saw
Yeah.
them at Blackpool last year when we went.
Um,
So
Yeah, I'm sure we'll rate them, differently every time. It entirely just depends on how we feel on the day,
yeah,
how we enjoyed it at the time. But I imagine they'll all be around a similar level.
yeah,
Maybe
they'll
you'd
all
give
be
it a
between like 6 and
7.5
8,
next time.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, um, around about the 6, 7 mark. But moving on to the next display, which is the RAF Typhoon. A pretty classic display. It's at pretty much every single, show in the UK. What would you rate that out of 10?
I'm gonna rate it about a 3 out of 10 because it was a fly past, not a flying display. If you look at the time, it says 12:30 to 12:34. You'd hope that the Typhoon doesn't do a Duxford and implode in that time. But yeah, it was a fly past of two of them. And their reasoning is that they don't have enough fuel. So what their alternative to that was, they would go hold for about half an hour over, doing circles and stuff, and then not do a display because they don't have fuel, and because they were never going to do a display because of the fuel issues, because they were transferring from somewhere to somewhere else. So the RAF are stupid and they need to sort out their game. Otherwise, I'm going to banish them from existence. I'm going to personally banish them from existence. So yeah, a 3 out of 10 for the fly past. They didn't even no. Do you know what? I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 because they didn't even use afterburners. After all of that, they didn't even use afterburners. At Midlands, when they did it, at least they used afterburners. On this, they just flew across. That was it. That was them gone.
Were they listed as doing a display before the air show?
No, they were
Like, not
listed
just
as
like,
doing a
ah,
fly past, but they're again, why can you not do a display? Because you're ferrying from somewhere else to somewhere else, but then you go and hold for at least half an hour. I think it was like 45 minutes, half an hour, somewhere far away from Farnborough. So it took like 10 minutes for them to get from the holding place to Farnborough. And in the whole time they were doing circles, they could have done a display. It's
it
like,
is confusing. Do you think they just take off half an hour
yeah, well,
later
literally,
and then do, like, at least a few fly pass with Afterburn and at least do
Yeah,
some
no,
loops or something?
it's crazy.
Like, that seems a bit of a waste of fuel, some might say, to take off half an
Well,
hour early
exactly.
and sit there for half an hour and then complain about fuel.
Yeah.
But, so I think 2 out of 10 considering what it was
Yeah, because they flew
makes
down from
makes sense. So,
Coningsby, held left of Farnborough. By the way, they were going to like Wales or something, I think it was, for like the Swansea air show. So they held left of Farnborough, bearing in mind Wales is up here. They held about here and Farnborough's about here. Just guessing, obviously. So they held there. Then they came over Farnborough left to right instead of right to left. So that's even more fuel wasted because then they have to turn around and go back that way. So yeah, I mean, again, you know what I'm saying? It's like every week there's something new of the RAF that they just can't do. So 2 out of 10.
yeah, fuel management this time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now moving on to something that I think is somehow gonna score higher than the Typhoon display team,
Mm,
is the Airbus A350.
yeah.
Um, presumably it wasn't just a fly past?
No, it wasn't. It was an actual flying display. um, 8 out of 10. It was. I love. The vertical takeoff. I know I said like it's weird. It is weird because again, it's not realistic, but it's also fun just seeing an airliner go like that. and then almost stalling, and then leveling out and whatnot. Obviously, it didn't actually like almost stall, but it just looks like it's going up like that, and then it like levels out or whatever, and it's like banking at like a 90-degree angle as it turns the corners and stuff. It's like that. I was like, geez, Louise. Yeah, really awesome. Really, really enjoyed that display. 8 out of 10. I don't know what else you can do with an airliner. Really, it's that he was already going at like 3 knots on the descent because he went like vertical or whatever. And there'll probably be some pictures up on screen now anyway. So yeah, it was quite cool. Unfortunately, the contrast wasn't great. A white aircraft against a white background. Because the weather was like, it was clear, but it's like that weird, really thin layer of cloud that just makes the background like white. Like the really high, just white, hazy layer of cloud. So
that's annoying,
yeah.
especially with a white aircraft.
Well, yeah, because that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, to be
Yeah.
fair, the maneuverability of some of those airliners when there's not a 200 passengers in the back is quite impressive. You see them going basically vertical, you see them turning at 90 degrees. I'm sure you'd get to your destination a lot quicker if they could just
Well,
do
yeah.
that.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's not like
but we now move on.
it's not like the thing with like the
Yeah.
clouds. It's not like the fluffy clouds. Like I
Mm.
like fluffy clouds in the background
Oh,
because it brings the contrast. You have like a dark cloud and a fluffy
the
cloud, and like
detail as well.
exactly. But with this, it's just white. It is just white. I don't know if I can really
Yeah.
show a picture on my phone. There'll definitely be one up on screen probably during the
I mean,
like
it'll probably
actual
just look like a
podcast. But
white picture, to be
it
honest.
like look, you could like it's just white. It is just white. Okay, that's a
It's
bit.
just white. Oh,
There we go.
there is a
But like, look,
plane
it
there.
is just white.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that doesn't really work for pictures on any aircraft, especially a white aircraft.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. But
but we move on to the Italian Air Force Typhoon. Now, I'm hoping this one's going to be a little bit better than the RAF Typhoon.
yeah, definitely. So let's talk you through the disappointment into non-disappointment of the Italian Typhoon. I did tell Joey this. So basically, it taxied up to the runway, and then you hear it spool up. It starts spooling up. You can hear the engines come on, and then it goes. Italian Typhoon. I can't do a bloody spaghetti accent. Italy and that, innit? Oui. Dow, my plane is not working. Is what I hear. Is what I hear through the scanner. And so it's like, oh yeah, taxi back or whatever. And obviously, you hear the commentators go, yeah, the Italian Typhoon's broken, guys. But we hear that if they can fix it, then they'll fly it later. So 5 minutes later, you hear the Typhoon taxiing back, and you're like, gang, like you just turned it on and back off and off on and again. It's like, you guys, it could not have fixed. You could have fixed this on the runway. Like, why? They taxied. They stopped on the one of the taxiways, fixed it, and then turned around and came back. So that 5 minutes later, it did its display. Unfortunately, this stupid army helicopters start turning their engines on as this thing's about to display. So all you hear for the entire like half of the display before they start like taxiing and stuff is just just like it was so genuinely it was louder than the Typhoon because they like it was just so loud. They had their engines just spooled about like 5%. And it was just so loud. It was insane. Honestly, I was partly deaf after that. Not even the Typhoon. The Typhoon wasn't that loud. It was the bloody Apaches and stuff that just made it so loud. So yeah, then then the Italian Typhoon takes off, and I get some aura photos of it because I'm just minted at photography and stuff. Here's one of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, that it's posted on my Insta. There's one of them. Obviously, it's awful because the camera's not meant for close-up stuff. And then there's the other one as well. Obviously, go check out my Instagram if you haven't already to see the actual clean 4K Ultra HD results. There's this one actually that I quite like because it's like head-on.
It is, yeah. That is head on. Can
It is,
confirm.
yeah, no, it is. To be fair, there's a few others obviously, but yeah, it is actually really awesome. Do I have like a takeoff video of it? I might have a takeoff video of it. Shall we have a look? See if you've got a
Of course,
takeoff
we'll
video.
look. Well,
Okay,
while you have a look, what would you rate it out of 10? The full display,
10. That's one of the ones that was a 10.
including the fact that it almost didn't go.
Well, yes, but it did go. So it's not like the Typhoon, the RAF Typhoon, that would just give up like it did and then just go away and run away. It actually fixed itself, and the takeoff video is here. So let me grab this and play the video.
I'm sure we'll put it on the screen if it doesn't.
Yeah. actually in proper quality rather than on my
Yeah,
phone with awful quality. Oh, I never realised I had these photos. I didn't realise I edited them. Again, they'll be up on the
you edited
screen,
those.
but you know.
Anyway,
So
speaking of the helicopters, you mentioned them.
yeah.
They were next, I would assume,
Well, I was
considering
going to
they were
finish with my
blown up.
Typhoon review, so let's slow down
Oh,
here,
I'm still not
Buckaroo.
done.
Let no
Rewind.
rewind. So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
It threw that Typhoon around more than the RAF has done in any of its years of being alive with a Typhoon. Like it was just up, down, shake it all about, up, down again, came down, then went up again, and then it did a high speed pass. No, actually, it came down and then it did a high speed pass, and you could see like the vapor cone and stuff. But because it, like the Typhoon is just such an unphotogenic aircraft, obviously I couldn't get any good photos of it. And it was also the other end of the runway when it did that, obviously, typical fashion. But yeah, other than that, it was quite a cool display. Definitely better than the RAF one by miles, and that could change a little grandstand, but I doubt it will.
yeah. I think I got a few good pictures. Well, a few pictures. I'm not gonna say good pictures of vapor coming off of the Spanish Typhoon, I believe, at Riyadh last year. But it wasn't very easy to get pictures of
Yeah.
because it's not very photogenic background, it being cloudy and
And it's just
vapor
a
being
grey
literally
aircraft as well.
clouds.
It's like,
The grey aircraft, the background was grey and vapor is pretty much grey. Didn't really work, but the pictures are great in my opinion, just because of what it is. But now we rewind and move on to the British Army Air Corps display team.
yeah.
Obviously they interrupted the Typhoon. How were they after the Typhoon?
Um, 7 out of 10 to be fair. I mean, the Apaches are also really unphotogenic. They're just brown, dark aircraft. And it was also an incredibly hazy day as well. So, you know, even worse because it made it like a bit blurry or whatever. The Wildcat though is a very good display. That was probably one of the best bits to be fair because I got loads of good photos of the Wildcat there. Um, including one of them that is on my Insta. To be fair, I posted every photo that I edited. No, I haven't. That's a lie. I didn't post some of the Italian Typhoon ones because I forgot that I forgot that I had them. So I posted like I think I had about 50 of these to edit. I think it was something like that. So quite a lot of photos. And yeah, 10 out of 10. Loud, no pyros, which would have brought it up to like a 9 if there was pyros. But drought and that in it, so it'd like
Yeah, I don't wanna set everything on
implode
fire.
Hampshire. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of fires. There was one near, like, some nuclear power plant or something, I don't know. Yeah, definitely not pyro season, that's for sure.
yeah,
But 7 out of 10 for some helicopters, not too bad.
yeah.
I mean, helicopters, you can't really do, like, loops with them unless you're Red Bull. Um,
That's
so
true.
so there's not as much you can do, but
Yeah,
they are very, very cool looking aircraft. So 7 out of 10 does make sense, and I imagine that any of the helicopters going to Blackpool might end up with a similar rating. I'm sure we'll test that next week.
I can't even
Um,
remember what's going to
but now
Blackpool.
we
To be
move on.
fair.
And I mean, either Typhoon and MiG-17 is all I remember.
Yeah, and
I
jet
think Red
pits.
Devils are starting it. Yeah, Jet Pits and Red Devils are starting it. Um, we now move on to, I'm not going to say another helicopter, but it's an electric VTOL.
Yeah,
Vertical
eVTOL.
Aerospace is VA-1X. It's a all-electric, very experimental aircraft. How was its display?
To be fair, I didn't see much of it because that was like mid camera battery crisis. And obviously, I was like testing out all my camera batteries, but they kept dying. Like, three of them died during this display alone, which was awesome. No, two of them died actually. So that was awesome. I did get some photos in the end of it taking off and landing, and like one or two of it in the air. So all hope was not lost. But yeah, to be fair, I'm just gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because I didn't get to see most of the display because I was trying to get see what camera batteries were gonna work basically.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. I mean, it's just looking at the pictures, it is a cool-looking
It
aircraft, but
is,
I
yeah,
can't imagine you can do a lot with it apart from
yeah,
hover and
yeah.
fly.
I mean, it's incredibly
So
quiet. You couldn't even hear this thing go over. Like it would, like it's like electric in it. So
that is true. I don't know if that's how it works with,
nah, it is though,
propellers
isn't it?
flying through the air.
Nah, because
Yeah,
it's
go
like
on.
electric in it. So
Um, Yeah. Did it sound like a Tesla?
It didn't sound like anything. I'm telling you, this thing was
Microwave.
like silent. There was like not a
Was you
sound.
just silent? Did you even know it was flying over your head
No,
when you saw it
no.
out the battery?
That's why I
Did
turned.
you even know?
The commentator said, "And it's coming over now." I was like, "Oh, sugar!" And then I obviously turned around and got some photos of it because I didn't realize it was
Yeah.
coming.
I mean, it does look like a pretty cool looking aircraft,
Do
but
you know what?
I can't imagine it
It
being
reminds.
like,
Well, I said to Joey about this once they. Oh, sugar! I'm not saying my recycling bin. I'll pick that up in a minute. But it reminds me of this aircraft here. Obviously, the Osprey. That's very unospreyed because I.
a bit louder, I imagine.
Well, yeah, but like it can both do this, innit? It can both like do that and then like
They
land.
can both do that.
Yeah, I
They
don't.
they
Whether
both can,
this thing doesn't
hopefully.
even have front landing gear. Anyway, you know, they can both. Oh yeah, and I'm not sure the Osprey can do this. I'm not sure that's one of its
I
features,
mean, it
but
might do
I
to fold up,
mean,
but I don't know why they'd fold it up.
yeah, but yeah, again, it can.
I mean,
It's
if
like
they want to
that,
transport it somewhere, they can just fly it somewhere. They don't need to fold it up and put it in a plane.
innit?
Yeah. But I mean, I would love to see that display. But I know that it's not like
Well, to
a
be fair, the only reason why I
spectacle,
rated it 5 out of 10 is because I
energetic.
didn't see it, so it's just a neutral. I don't know because
Yeah.
I can't really rate it.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like one of those aircraft that you see for the sake of having seen that
Yeah,
aircraft because it's rare, not a that's going to be an entertaining, energetic display. And you might not even notice it's happening if it's quiet.
yeah.
But moving on to something that's a little bit less quiet is the Global 8000. I mean, it's another airliner style plane. I don't know what you can do with it, but I'm sure you'll tell us.
Yeah, that thing is quite loud. Like taking off, it just goes past. It genuinely sounds like an afterburner for like half a second, and then it just dies. Again, took off like the A350, like quite like steep as well. Did some fly passes, some turns. Again, probably about an 7.5 out of 10, or even 7.5 out of 10. Obviously, it's not big of a wow factor as an A350 because it's like one third of the size, but it's still quite a cool aircraft. I think it's like the fastest private jet ever, and it can go over Mach 1 in a dive or something like that. Obviously, it didn't do that at Farnborough because that's illegal, and the CAA are too
Very.
woke to let everyone die at an air show because that's boring. You know, it can't do that, unfortunately. But, you know, again, 7.5 is not even a bad rating at all.
Yeah, I mean 7.5 for what is essentially an airliner. I know it's more like private jet style plane, but at the end of the day, it's for civil use, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
one of
yeah.
those bigger planes for carrying more passengers. There's not a whole lot you can do, but I mean, it's a very sleek looking aircraft. I can imagine it doing some high speed passes and probably some pretty quick turns as well. I imagine
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
quite surprisingly maneuverable. I imagine. Um, but we now move on to something that's a little bit more maneuverable and a little bit more of a spectacle. And I'm going to mispronounce it, so I'm just going to say
Respectacle? What's a respectacle? Is that a word?
more of a spectacle. I don't know if I said that wrong
You
or not.
said
Um,
respectable. No, respectacle.
disrespectful display
Respectacle.
team. This is, I believe, United Arab Emirates
Yeah,
national display team.
it is,
I'll
yeah.
let you pronounce it because you said it earlier before we
Furzan
started,
Al
and I don't know how to spell it.
Amarat.
Yeah, that one.
Anyway,
How were they?
yeah, 10 out of 10. That's the other one that's also a 10 out of 10 with the F-35, as we know, obviously. Um, why would it not be a 10 out of 10? You know, these Chinese Team U jet things were like, they make like a whine, like a. I don't really know. I'm not a jet, unfortunately, so I
10
can't.
out of 10.
Yeah,
10 out of 10 recreation.
well, literally, you know. Um, yeah, the livery is just beautiful. The gold and black, like, is just stunning. Their smoke is really annoying because their smoke is like smoke. You know, it's like think about smoke, right, and then think of about the smokiest smoke that you know. It like stays in the air like for the whole display. So the sky was just like green and blue and red and white for like the whole thing. So I'm probably gonna have to do a lot of dehazing when I'm doing like editing and stuff because the smoke was just being quite smoky. Um, they did actually
Yeah, it
have
does that.
you know that the wingtip vapors. You know when they're pulling up or whatever or coming down like
Oh, wingtip vortices.
that. Yeah, they had that sometimes when they're coming down. I think there's a whole like display team. Like when all of them coming down, they all have that. Hopefully, I got a good picture of that. I know I took pictures during it. Whether the pictures are good or not is a different story. And if I have looked through that card by then, which I probably haven't because, yeah, then obviously it'll probably be up on the screen. But yeah, 10 out of 10 display. Dare I say better than the Red Arrows? Am I going to get shot by the
I mean,
UK government?
this year
Probably.
maybe.
But
This year maybe. 7 ship Reds, you know.
yeah, I mean, they do a lot of the same moves, but they also have cooler jets. So, what can I say? But yeah, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Beautiful colour scheme. I'm not sure whether they use blue instead of black, but I mean, can you really get black smoke? I suppose you can, but it's
I mean, you can, but how would you distinguish if your engine's dying or not? That would be really
well,
confusing.
because your plane would probably fall out the sky if you had no engines, but you probably also have a big
That is
warning
true.
light going, you know, like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they have their reasons for not using black smoke.
yeah,
Maybe they just got told they can't because, I don't know,
yeah, and
spraying black smoke in the sky would probably scare
yeah.
a few people.
Yeah, it's quite good though,
Um,
actually. So yeah, brilliant display, beautiful
yeah,
contrast against the sky. Like the sky a bit darker and brighter at places, so decent contrast. And yeah, 10 out of 10 display. I hope to see them again, but I can at least say that I have seen them, and that's another display team added to my list of 1, 2, 3, 4, like 10 or something. I'm not counting. So I've seen
at least 6.
Brightlings, Reds, Protrude de France, the Spanish things, the Emirates
Italian?
ones, um,
Italian?
yes, yeah, the Italian things.
See
Um,
if we can get one more.
I'm thinking.
Okay, while you think, I'll talk through the next display while you think of that one, which was the GE Aerospace Saab 340B, which looks kind of like a passenger plane, like
It's
just
like
a
a
normal,
cargo plane. It's like
like,
I think you can have passengers, but I think it's mainly a cargo plane.
yeah,
Well,
it's a twin
looking
prop.
at that photo, it has like no windows, and usually cargo planes
That
don't
is
have
true.
windows. So
Yeah, it looks a bit like, I'm trying to think what plane. It looks like something Flybe would have used
right,
to transport people. Probably not anymore, considering Flybe doesn't exist. But
yeah,
imagine the planes they use, twin prop planes. It looks a bit like one of those. I'm sure if you got any pictures edited of it by now,
that's on that
we'll put
card.
them up. If you've edited them by now, like
Yeah,
by the time this goes
it's
out,
on these
by the time you're
cards.
editing it, they'll be on there. But how was its display?
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird aircraft. It has two different engines. One's electric, one's unelectric. So the unelectric one powers the electric one, but the electric one also powers the electric one by using the electrics to get more electricity. Like the electricity powers the blade that spins, but then the blade spinning creates electricity. So like electricity and that, innit?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking
Yeah,
that whole sentence,
literally.
you took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking electricity all the way. Um, but I didn't know that about that plane. That is
Well, yeah,
very
because you can't
weird that
see it
they were on electric.
on that photo. But I looked at it.
Yeah,
I came up to it. It was like, gang, why is there two different engines? Is this not gonna like imbalance the aircraft a bit or something here? But nah. I mean, I'm pretty sure one has three blades, one has four, and I was like,
I'm
gang.
assuming they would have like played with the RPM to get it to
Yeah,
match, but it's
probably.
weird that one had. There's got
But
to
the
be
thing
at
is, like,
least some
you can
imbalance.
run it on one engine. Like, there's this hybrid mode or something, like where the electric one turns off, the main one spins with fuel, which again then powers the electrical one. So there's like a harvest energy mode, like in an F1 car, where you harvest energy, which then powers the electrical one, which electrically powers its electrical self by electricity. So I guess it can fly forever.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I don't know,
I literally took the words right out of my mouth again.
literally,
We're just on the
honest,
same wavelength
literally.
there.
When aren't we?
Um, did you rate that out of 10? I can't actually
No,
remember.
I didn't. Seven. No. Yeah, let's do a 7.89 out of 10.
Okay, that's really specific.
Yeah, like 7, 8, 9. I don't know why 8, 9, but you know,
Yeah, a bit mean, that one.
You know.
I think that's a good rating. I'm assuming it was just standard display that you'd get from that kind of
Yeah, but
aircraft,
again, it's cool that it
bypass,
has two
belly up,
engines.
bypass.
It's cool that the
It is
electrical
cool.
engine gets powered by its own electrical power with electricity, but the electricity also gets powered by the engine that's not electrical by spinning electrical power into an electrical turbine engine, which then powers the electricity of the electrical engine.
Exactly, just
Literally,
exactly that.
literally.
Moving on from the electricity power and the electrical engine, from the electrical wires from the electricity, the Starlings, we've
In
rated those,
it.
I think, more than
Nah,
once
we
at this
haven't.
point.
Nah, not the
Um,
Starlings,
we
bro.
re I
Nah,
think
I
we
think
rated
you.
them once, huh?
Mm, mm, I don't
Well, someone
remember.
can figure it out because we can't bothered. Um, how would you, rate their display?
Basically, it's a display.
That is good. You would hope that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a pretty typical extra 300. I think, well, it's extra 200 or something. It's like no, extra NG. That's what it is. It's an extra NG. Um, I don't know what NG stands for, but it is an extra aircraft, and it's close to the extra 300. I think. It is a display. I don't know. It's just like a typical aerobatic
Yeah,
display. I don't really know how to explain
about,
it.
like,
It's like Red Arrow
7, 8?
Synchro, but only the Synchro.
Yeah. So, like 7, 8, give or
Yeah,
take.
yeah.
Yeah,
So like,
we'll just say 7.5,
let's give it a
just
seven
under the mi
point six seven. That's what I'm gonna get. 7.67.
okay, just about the middle, yeah.
Because like, yeah,
Moving on, actually didn't get this one ready. The next one being, well,
that one.
the F-35A, demo team,
Yeah, I told you it
the
was that
US
one.
Air Force. Um, I'm guessing we can predict what this one's gonna be rated out of 10?
0. Worst display I've ever seen. Yanks in our
Okay.
country. Get 'em out. Honestly, fly back to
Yeah, that's
Lakenheath.
what I was thinking, you know.
Yeah, no.
I was thinking that.
Um,
Lakenheath is still in our country.
yeah, I know, but like, it's American. No, because I swear, like, it's technically American, no. Technically, if you're in Lakenheath, you're
I
in
believe
America. Because like,
I believe it's technically not, but there is one spot in England that is technically America,
I don't
and
know.
it's
I
like
just know
some
that like
memorial to some guy.
army. No, it's like I can't remember what it is, but it's like something like army and base, like just like US bases are just technically part of American soil or something. So if you're like on Lake and Heath, you're in America, or I don't know, something like that. Um, yeah, 10 out of 10. It was loud. My eardrums did almost implode. And I did almost die. But you know, it's a cool aircraft. Who doesn't want to get their ears obliterated by an F-35? Because I love that. That is, yeah, exactly. It's me. That's the crazy FNAF reference for you guys who get that out there. Um, yeah, beautiful display. Horrible aircraft to get photos of because it's an F-35. It's even worse than the Typhoon. But I did get this amazing photo of it, which is my proudest moment ever. It's like beautiful. Rambo himself liked it and commented on it. So the pilot of the F-35. I got a few others as well, and it's the first time I've actually ever managed to successfully get good F-35 photos, which was quite good actually. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Aggressive, full-on American style display. I don't know how this guy didn't crash, considering the fact he was like doing like like back, like a half like loop, like where it goes up and then turns, but then like switches and then comes back down like that, like a half loop. But he was doing that at about 3 mile an hour, so he would get to the top of it, right, and then he'd like do that, and it would like just flip 180. I was like, oh right, okay. I think I might have a video of it. I'm not sure. If I do, then I'll show it on screen if I can find it. But I'm not sure if I have it. But it was insane. It was a beautiful display, pure American Eagle sounds intensified type display.
Even though it's like 70% British. Yeah,
Yeah,
F-35s are, some incredible aircraft, very, very loud. I saw them at Lakenheath last year, and just when you think it's not gonna get any louder, they increase the throttle even more, and then
yeah.
you think it can't get any louder, and then they increase it again, and you realise they still don't even have afterburner on,
Or they do
and
like
your
a low
eardrums are already
approach.
gone.
So they go up to
Yeah,
dry throttle, and then they come in. They put the landing gear up dry throttle, and then they put on the afterburner as they're going past you. Like, oh hello, because like the
yeah, very,
dry
very
throttle's
loud.
already very loud, but then you also have the afterburner
Yeah.
that comes on afterwards.
Yeah, you feel it in your chest with the F-35, it is just raw
Yeah.
power. incredible aircraft, and I've never seen a display of it, but I've seen them taking off and landing, which even that was incredible
Is it
experience.
crazy that I've seen an American F-35 display before I've ever seen a Royal Air Force F-35 ever?
Somehow that's not surprising considering they just never do those ever for some reason.
Yeah,
Like, well, you never see British ones. They're just asleep somewhere. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've
There's
ever
literally
seen
an
one.
F-35 B-roll demonstration because I used to do it on a game that I used to play, and it was displayed once at Riyadh, and that's it. I think it's done. It's done like fly past at Cosford, but never a display. So again, RAF just lacking everything. In like, I'm no wonder no one wants the Typhoon and stuff because they just don't display it. They just don't. They don't do anything with it. They let it break. They
Yeah,
use a really old airframe that they
exactly.
can't do anything with because it's an old airframe,
Yeah.
and then it breaks down every two
They do
seconds.
Blackpool and Southport. That's
Yeah.
kind of it. Um, but yeah, moving on to the Rolls-Royce Supermarine Spitfire, which classic aircraft. Is I know that one of them didn't fly. I can't remember which one you said. It might have been this one. Was it this one? I'm gonna assume it was that one
It
based on the
was,
face you're
yeah.
making right now. Yeah, that one didn't fly, so I'm assuming 0 out of 10 because it didn't fly.
Well, it literally imploded on the
That broke.
runway. Like, it just disintegrated. It had like engine, so it started rolling right, and then it like you know how the Spitfires they go like that because they're like tail draggers. So it went like that, it went like, and then it went like that, and then it went like that. So it had like a misfire or something in its engines, which isn't healthy. But
Not
I
healthy, no.
think they would have flown in World War Two with that, and then probably crashed. But that's not the point.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, you know,
They could not afford to just land it and
you
turn
know,
around and fix it. It's gonna break either way somehow, whether it gets shot
yeah,
down or the engine breaks. So you may as well send it. Um, Probably would have been a decent display if you had seen
yeah,
it, but we'll move on from that since it, didn't fly. It nearly flew if it was doing a wheelie.
yeah, yeah. It was very
Was that
close.
cool?
Yeah,
Was the wheelie cool? Yeah, was the wheelie fun?
it was like 2 seconds. Like literally, it went up and then down. Like it was like
Ah,
so.
so not great from the Spitfires there, but we'll move on to the Czech Air Force L-159. Cool jet.
And it
I've seen videos of these. How is its display?
Well, it didn't display, but it did do more than one fly past, so it gets like plus
Ah,
like 4 on the Typhoon. Plus, it's an awesome aircraft, so it gets a 7.5 out of 10 for the aircraft and the effort that it put in more than the UK Air Force, even though this one came from Czechia. But so it actually made an effort to fly instead of Anyway, 7.5 out of 10. Beautiful aircraft, loads of photos of it, all up on my Instagram metric.spotting. Not much to say. It was a few fly past, a few wing waves, and then it landed. But again, it's a cool aircraft. So what can I say?
yeah, I've not really got much more to add to that. It's a good aircraft. I would love to see it at some point one day. But we'll move on for now to the I'm gonna say beta, could be beta. I
I
don't know.
think
I
it's
don't really
better.
care. Uh, Beta Technologies CX-300. I will say it's a very interesting looking aircraft. It looks very similar to a lot of the experimental all-electric vehicles. I don't think this one is, but it does look similar.
Yeah, again, it was like not a sound in the sky, silent night, like song and that. Yeah, it flew under a Logan Air livery because Logan Air ordered like 3 of them or something like that. I think it's electric, but then again, I don't know. It didn't sound very loud, and it looks electric, so I'm going to say it's electric. I don't pay attention to most of the commentary at air shows because I mean I can't be bothered, and I'm more focused on the display. And my ears being blasted off by an F-35, so it might have been. I've got no idea. I mean, 5 out of 10.
It is.
It is. I did think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it is an all-electric aircraft, at least from what I'm seeing. I could be wrong, but just googling, is it an electric one? It
Mm,
is. Um, but it is a very, very cool looking aircraft.
yeah.
And honestly, looking at all the new experimental tech that has gone to Farnborough has kind of made me want to try and get to Farnborough next year. I mean,
2028.
even just the
It's
statics.
every other year.
That's every other year. Okay, 2028. It's made me want to look at going to it. A lot of the statics as well are as annoying as they are being static. Very,
Yeah.
very cool statics. All the drones and stuff like that. It's
I mean,
very
I got a
interesting
picture
for
of a
me.
Black Hawk, and I've never seen a Black Hawk before, even though it's the most common helicopter in the entire world. But
Yeah, that's true.
it's
I don't think I've seen a Black Hawk before.
yeah. Well, I there you go. You've seen a Black Hawk now.
I have, yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
it's a photo of a Black Hawk. I've got another one actually here, but it's
No, it is,
backlit
yeah.
because you know, I mean, that is the sun. That
So,
that bright light in the sky is actually
that
the
is
sun
the
this
sun.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, not just white clouds.
Not just white
Um,
clouds. Yeah.
did you rate the CX300? I can't actually
Yeah.
remember.
5 out of 10.
I had 5 out of 10. That's pretty good. I mean, you actually saw that one this time.
Yeah,
Um,
I did. Yes.
presumably. Yeah. We'll move on to something that's definitely louder with the Chinook roll demo.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the Chinook roll demo in ages.
Neither had I.
So I'll be interested to see how you rate this one.
Yeah, so it comes in and it's holding like a Land Rover underneath it and artillery as well. Although I think it can, well, it's like a Land Rover that has artillery on the back of it, like yeah, tow bar and stuff. So it comes in, drops that off, runs away, leaves the ground infantry to defend for themselves because they've just been dropped off in the middle of an active battlefield. Even though it's just a display, there's still probably people shooting at them. I don't know. Um, and then it flew around, did the typical, Chinook display, did a few up, down, left, rights, and then it did its like classic land, and then it went backwards and then took off backwards because like physics and that, I guess, isn't it? Just reverse the
Yeah,
rotors in it, and then it'll go backwards.
yeah, just rewind
Literally,
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it off and turn it
Yeah,
back on
exactly.
again, and then it'll be going backwards.
Yeah, that's definitely what it did.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
What would you rate it out of 10?
8 out of 10 because I haven't seen it in ages, and it's a Chinook, and who doesn't love a Chinook?
That is true. Just the noise of like I don't even know if there's like a name for it, but
Blade
the
slap.
slapping noise,
It's literally just
the
called a
blade
blade
slap.
slap. Yeah,
That makes sense. That is a very descriptive term for it. It's just such an iconic sound that you can't beat.
yeah,
But I believe that's the last one for flying displays, at least on the video you sent me,
it
that's the
is.
last
Yeah.
one. What would you give the whole lineup overall? Like, obviously, the Typhoon probably will set it back a little bit.
Well,
The
like
Spitfire,
the whole show, or
Spitfire,
just the lineup.
just like the lineup of like, if you went to an air show just watching the flying planes, how would you rate that bit?
Like an 8.75. I think some of the aircraft were quite boring, and I don't say that very often. Like the Beta Technologies aircraft wasn't exactly the most interesting display. Obviously, the Typhoon only did a fly past, and some of the displays were very short because of Farnborough's restricted airspace because it's like near Heathrow and stuff. So, like an 8.75, it wasn't bad, but again, it's more of a business show, so it's never going to be good. So yeah, 8.75 on the flying lineup, but yeah, I think that's not even a bad result.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good considering that, like you said, it's a business show, and getting onto that, mostly statics at Farnborough.
Yeah,
It's very much a showcase stuff. I know that BAE Systems released a few new teasers and showcased a few new technologies at Farnborough. It's very much just a business focused,
yeah,
get your investors looking at planes. Mostly statics. I know that you didn't get to look at all the statics
yeah. I couldn't
because
even find
you
all
went
of
there
them.
for the
Yeah.
flying planes. Um, Out of the ones that you did see, how would you rate the statics at the show?
Um, Probably like a 9 out of 10, maybe 9.25 out of 10, because there's just a lot of them. Again, I'm not into statics. Alfie's your guy if you want to go look at statics because he likes statics. It was, I guess, all right. Again, I didn't really look at them. I kind of just walked around looking at the business aspect of it for like apprenticeships and stuff. So yeah, I don't know, 9.25 just for what I could see on the website and stuff of being static.
Yeah, and obviously you didn't get to look at all of them. Of the ones that you did see, I know that you might not remember all of them, but which one would you say was your favorite that you can remember?
Well, I like the 346 from Italy. I wish that displayed. I love that. I hope that's what I'm hoping our next trainer will be. I know that they've said the T7, but with recent issues of that, they might move away from that. So I'm hoping we get the M346 as our next trainer, as it's such an awesome and beautiful aircraft.
Yeah, you never know. It's a very changing environment is the next aircraft for the UK, considering we need them, and every company's trying to make them. Some companies are failing to make them. But I know that you talked to me about this before we started recording. The stance, there wasn't a lot that you
Yeah.
saw, at least not like business stands for like investors looking at technologies. How would you rate the stands and the stalls and all the amenities like that?
Well, there was a whole hall of just business stuff, but I mean, it was not down my alley to say. Like, it wasn't really what I was into. I mean, half of it I didn't even understand. A lot of them were foreign as well, like Swedish, Italian, that sort of stuff. So I didn't even know what they were saying half the time. Um, Not even in a rude way or anything. Like, I just don't know Italian in it. So, um,
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, I guess like 6 out of 10. I guess like again, it's mainly a business show. Maybe I missed the stalls. Maybe I just didn't look in the right building or something. I don't know. But from what I could see, like 6 out of 10.
Yeah, it's not too bad considering how you've described it. I mean, you're only really going to enjoy the stalls as much as you can if you're an investor
Yeah.
looking for investing money somewhere. I don't know, I'm not an investor.
Well, same.
Um,
Yeah.
but as for most air shows have food stalls. They have like burger vans. How was Farnborough's, and they also have toilets as well.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of just lump those together. How was like the necessities, the food in the toilets? How was that?
Yeah, that was fine. That was like a 9 out of 10. There was food stalls everywhere. There was toilets right near, like literally behind us. Like completely fine. 9 out of 10 on like the what do you call it, like amenities or what? I don't know, like public.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I kind of tried to, 'cause I couldn't think of the word either. I just kind of described what the
yeah,
word is. Um, but I think that's a pretty good rating. I can't remember if there's any other categories we've done before. There probably is. Who knows? Who cares?
yeah.
The one that really matters is your overall rating of Farnborough 2026 out of 10.
Probably 9.25. I think the Italian and Typhoon F-35 and Furs Al Amarat team brings that up quite a lot. But again, what can you say? You can't put down some of the other aircraft because they were also quite good. I wasn't too fussed about there not being like too many stalls. At the end of the day, I was there to get photos, not to buy stuff. So, and obviously to look for apprenticeships and stuff, which obviously there wasn't that many there. Not for kids anyway, unfortunately. So yeah, 9.25 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good rating, especially considering statics aren't your thing. I
Yeah,
think if they were your thing, if you were Alfie, I think that would probably be even higher. But it sounds like a good display, a good show, and I personally will try and look into it for
yeah.
2028, just because
I mean, again, we'll be going
I
on
quite
our
like new tech.
Airshow tour sometime in the next like 5-10 years, really. So it's definitely something to
Yeah,
add
that's
on the
true.
list.
Yeah, and especially considering the static lineup I was looking at, drones personally, at least in the last few months or so, have been interesting me a lot, especially like one-way effectors and stuff like that. Very interesting topic, and I know that they had a few of those there on showcase. So I think it's a good display. And would you recommend it to people?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely for photographers, the lighting's not awful, awful. It's like mid lighting. It's not awful. It's not great. It's sort of like Cosford. It's sort of side, front, top lit rather than backlit. Like Midlands. Midlands like back slash side slash top. This is front, top, side. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's not awful. Yeah, definitely suggest it for 2028. Hopefully they'll bring some new inventions over. Maybe the 777X, if that's even allowed to fly by then. That's like being put off loads of years.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Um, I think that's pretty much all I had for it.
Yeah,
Especially at least for Farnborough, and you just said Farnborough.
Farnborough.
For Farnborough, that's pretty much all I have. Obviously, check out the website. The
Yes.
review will be on there, as well as a little bit of a note on it, how you found it. Um, there's not a whole lot of words on there. We don't have much room. I'm sure if we want more room, we'll change it in the future. But it has just a little bit of our experience. We don't at the moment, we might have when this comes out, have Alfie's
Yeah.
little description of the air shows because we haven't been on call with him in a few days. Um, but hopefully by the time this comes out, we do.
Yes.
Obviously, the website will be linked in the description. It's also on the promos from Friday, so check those out as well. Next week, obviously, will be Blackpool review.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to be biased considering it's the air show that I got into aviation from, but I would try and be as unbiased as I can and rate it compared to other air shows.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all I have to add.
Yeah, well, we have now been doing our podcast for 6 and a bit months. So we are just over 6 months now. So we're still going strong. Hopefully, this thing will go on for many, many years and inspire a lot of you to get into aviation. A lot of the jokes we make may be a bit controversial, but obviously nothing too bad. Maybe the Italian one, maybe that was a bit, a bit funny. Obviously, I know a lot of Italians will be
Yeah,
laughing
it's
about it.
fine.
It's
Yeah,
you know,
who cares?
we mock UK people as well. I mean, I mock Joey about him sometimes because he's a northerner, and he mocks me because I'm a southerner. So it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day. So we do hope you enjoyed this podcast, everyone. Special shout out to all our subscribers at the moment. We're about 34, I think, also probably about 30 because me and you have subscribed on our channels as well. So probably about 30 of you out there. 31, can't exclude that one person who might be that out there. So special
It's
shout
true.
out to you and everyone on the TikTok and Instagram. I know none of you will be seeing this because like we have like a 1% conversion rate from TikTok and Instagram to YouTube, but and everyone out there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatever you may be listening on, thank you so much for listening today. We do recommend you go watch on YouTube if you are on Apple Podcast, but if you're in the car, it still works as well. Take care, everyone, and well, unless you have anything else to say, Joey, we'll see you tomorrow Monday.
Yeah, check out the merch. It's in the pinned videos on
It
TikTok and
is, yeah.
Instagram.
It is, and all our links are in our link tree.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, take care, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.